Hello there, I'm Azaria Tagaya, and Nightline starts now. The top stories. Maritime territorial disputes, Foreign Minister warns against politicising settlement.
Saya minta maaf.
And Gerakan apologises over burdensome civil servants' remarks. Good morning. All parties should avoid politicising the settlement of the maritime territorial disputes between Malaysia and Indonesia in the Sulawesi Sea, especially ahead of the state polls. Foreign Minister Datuk Sri Zamri Abdul Kadir said it was disheartening when such an important issue of national sovereignty was being manipulated in such a way to gain political support.
Isu yang sebegini sewajarnya tidak dijadikan sebagai modal politik oleh mana-mana pihak, ya, untuk kita mengambil kesempatan mengatakan itu, mengatakan ini, menuduh itu, menuduh ini. Dan setiap daripada kita adalah sebagai pemimpin yang bertanggungjawab, tentunya kita tahu apa yang perlu kita sampaikan, apa yang perlu boleh dimainkan, apa yang tidak boleh dimanipulasikan.
At the media conference, Datuk Sri Zamri said the maritime territorial disputes in the Sulawesi Sea were not new, as discussions over the matter were ongoing since 2005, before it was resolved in 2018 and signed recently. The Foreign Minister said a question on the matter was raised by the opposition during the session. He said the Prime Minister, in his reply, had reiterated that the country's sovereignty would continue to be protected following the recent signing of instruments with Indonesian President Joko Widodo in relation to the maritime borders. Gerakan on Thursday apologised for the recent remarks made by Pulau Pinang Gerakan spokesman Mok Kok On about civil servants. At a media conference, the party's Secretary-General Mak Kah Kiong said the party had referred the case to its disciplinary committee for further action.
Saya pada hari ini, Mak Kah Kiong sebagai Setiausaha Agung ingin memohon maaf kepada kenyataan yang diberikan oleh ahli gerakan dari akar umbi tersebut. Dengan itu saya menyusul jari 10 jari untuk pohon maaf kepada seluruh rakyat Malaysia, khususnya penjawat awam. Ya, saya minta maaf.
He went on to say that if there is no good or reasonable explanation from Mok on the matter, the party will suspend his membership. The media reported that Mok called civil servants a burden and also questioned the government's measures to increase the number of civil servants. It was also reported that the statement was criticised by various parties, describing Mok's words as outrageous and upsetting for civil servants. Meanwhile, QPAX expressed its disappointment that the civil service was frequently involved in political disputes. This as it could create a negative perception of civil servants among the public.
Sesungguhnya kenyataan mereka itu adalah amat tidak betul. QPAX berharap dan menasihati semua parti politik untuk tidak membuat kenyataan yang boleh mengguris hati penjawat awam dan hendaklah berhati-hati dalam membuat kenyataan yang berkaitan dengan anggota Perkhidmatan Awam. Sesungguhnya, kami anggota Perkhidmatan Awam adalah berkhidmat untuk negara.
The third phase of the Rahmah Cash Aid, or STR3, for more than 8 million recipients from the B40 group will be dispersed in stages beginning Monday. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the government has decided that the STR3 payment must be channelled before Hari Raya Aidil Adha to ease the financial burden of the people. The Finance Ministry, in a statement, said the payment involved an allocation of more than 2 billion ringgit, benefiting 8 million beneficiaries who would receive between 100 ringgit and 1,300 ringgit. The payment will be credited directly to their bank accounts from June 26 to July 5th. Those who do not have a bank account can cash out the payment at Bank Simpanan national branches. The ministry said checks for STR3 approval status can be made from June 26, and the appeal application period is from July 3rd to 31st. For rejected applications, entrance, applicants can submit relevant documents for review by the Inland Revenue Board. Previously, the first and second phases of STR took place in January and April. The 3 phases of STR for this year involve allocations amounting to 5 billion ringgit, and payment for the 4th phase is expected in November. The Higher Education Ministry has denied allegations that its stringent condition on loans and scholarships is the factor that post-Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM students choose not to further their education to the tertiary level. Its Minister, Datuk Sri Muhammad Khalid Nordin, said the government has introduced various initiatives and scholarships to assist the students at higher education institutes, IPTs.
Saya ingat pelajar yang tak nak masuk SPM tu mungkin yang tak lulus daripada tingkatan tu ataupun tak cukup dia punya tu, ataupun dia mohon pilih satu subjek yang tak sesuai dengan kelayakan dia. Itu je. Saya ingat bukan kerana tak ada, masuk dulu, lepas tu boleh tengoklah sama ada dia boleh dapat pinjaman atau tidak.
Datuk Sri Muhammad Khalid spoke to the media after his working visit to the Ibrahim Sultan Polytechnic in Johor on Thursday. According to him, the Malaysia Family Elders Student Development Programme had also been introduced by the government, which assists the first student representative from B40 families with full tuition fee waivers at all public universities. He also said loan facilities under the National Higher Education Fund Corporation PTPTN were only based on the income of the parents. Datuk Sri Muhammad Khalid was commenting on a student association's claim that the strict conditions imposed on scholarship or loan applications were a factor that caused many SPM leavers to choose not to continue their studies at IPTs. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein and his deputy Datuk Sri Ayub Khan Maidin Piche has been described as a powerful combination capable of leading the force to greater heights. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the experience of both men would enable them to shoulder the responsibility and trust placed in them.
Saya punya harapan yang sangat jelas dan keyakinan yang sangat utuh bahawa Polis Darjah Malaysia di bawah kepimpinan Tan Sri Raza akan dapat meneruskan kelangsungan dan kecemerlangan kepimpinan yang telah ditinggalkan oleh Tan Sri Akrir. Dengan gabungan baru Tan Sri Datuk Ayub sebagai timbalan Ketua Polis, saya percaya ini satu gandingan yang sangat mantap, sangat baik.
Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony of the top cops at the Kuala Lumpur Police Training Centre, Pulapol, on Thursday, Datuk Sri Saifuddin also thanked outgoing IGP Tan Sri Akril Sani Abdullah Sani for his unwavering commitment to the force. The 61-year-old, who has spent 37 years with the force, has chosen early retirement to take on another job at a government financial institution that required him to start on an earlier date. Tan Sri Razaruddin and Datuk Sri Ayub Khan will assume their duties effective Friday. On another matter, Datuk Sri Saifuddin has reminded political parties involved in the upcoming state elections to stay away from sensitive issues involving religion, royalty and race, or 3R. He said if such matters were raised during the state elections, the police will take action against the offenders and they can be investigated under the Sedition Act and Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act.
Bila pertembungan politik misalnya dijadikan sebagai pertembungan agama, itu menyebabkan keadaan yang tidak baik untuk negara. Pertembungan politik tapi dipisahkan dengan interes kaum misalnya. Jadi itu juga keadaan yang tak bagus. Lebih teruk lagi apabila kita tengok kritikan yang terbuka tanpa adab terhadap institusi raja.
He added that such action will be monitored by the 3R Special Team, which was established in March this year. Meanwhile, when asked to comment on the preparations for the polls in the 6 states concerned, the Home Minister said the police was always on standby and has a standard operating procedure to face the election. He said the SOP guarantees the safety of the people to go out to vote, besides ensuring that there is no violation of the law, especially during the state elections. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah and Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Aziza Amina Maimuna Iskandaria arrived in Madinah, Saudi Arabia on Wednesday. The special aircraft carrying the King and Queen touched down at the Prince Mohammed bin Abdulaziz International Airport at 4 p.m. local time or 9 p.m. in Malaysia. According to a post on Istana Negara's Facebook page on Thursday, the royal couple, accompanied by Pahang Regent Tengku Hassan Al-Ibrahim Alam Shah, were greeted by Madinah Governor Prince Faisal bin Salman Al Saud. Al-Sultan Abdullah and Tunku Aziza are scheduled to be in Madinah and Mecca until July 1st to perform the Hajj. The government of Saudi Arabia had previously announced that Wukuf Day, which is the pinnacle of the Hajj ritual, is on Tuesday, June 27th, and Eid al-Adha is on the next day, while Muslims in Malaysia will celebrate the Eve on June 29th. Massive blast rocks restaurant in China, leaving dozens dead. News from the foreign front when Nightline returns. The foreign front. A multinational mission to find a missing submersible near the Titanic wreck is still focused on rescuing the 5-member crew alive. This is despite fears that the vessel's oxygen may have already run out. 2 more unmanned subs were deployed on Thursday as the massive hunt for the Titan lost somewhere in a vast swathe of the North Atlantic between the ocean's surface and nearly 4 kilometers below moved to the critical stage. Coast Guard officials insisted they remained hopeful, but the challenge of locating and recovering the crew alive appeared increasingly formidable. Previously, it was reported that the watercraft submerged on Sunday morning from its support vessel to travel to the Titanic wreckage, which sits at a depth of 12,500 feet. About an hour and 45 minutes later, the Titan lost contact with its surface ship, the Polar Prince. 9 people have been detained by Chinese police following an explosion that killed at least 31 people in northwest China. Authorities on Thursday said those arrested included the restaurant's owner, its shareholders and staff, adding that their assets have also been frozen. The explosion at about 8:40 p.m. local time on Wednesday took place at Fuyang Barbecue Restaurant in a residential area of downtown Yinchuan. It was reported that another 7 were injured, with one of them in critical condition caused by broken glass after the blast. The explosion, which occurred on the eve of the 3-day Dragon Boat Festival holiday, was believed to have been caused by a leaking liquefied petroleum gas tank from the restaurant. Chinese President Xi Jinping, in the meantime, has demanded all-out efforts in treating the wounded and the strengthening of safety supervision, as well as management in key industries and fields to effectively protect people's lives and properties. Over in France, rescue workers are combing through debris in central Paris on Thursday, a day after a powerful explosion ripped through a building on the left bank and injured about 40 people, several of them critically. The authorities in Paris said that one person was still unaccounted for after the blast, which rocked the French capital on Wednesday evening and damaged much of the building on Rue Saint-Jacques in the 5th arrondissement. Official information about the identities of the victims, however, was not immediately available, but it was reported that 6 people were still in critical condition and other injuries were mostly minimal. An investigation into what caused the explosion has been launched, and so far, foul play has been ruled out as the leading theory. Beijing has recorded its hottest June day in more than 60 years, with the mercury touching 41.1 degrees Celsius on Thursday. According to the Municipal Weather Bureau, the city is experiencing a prolonged heat wave with extreme temperatures to persist until the end of June. The 41.1 degrees Celsius logged on Thursday was the city's second highest in history, as the warmest temperature recorded by the city was 41.9 degrees Celsius on July 24, 1999. In Tanghaku, in Beijing's northeast, the temperature pushed even higher to 41.8 degrees Celsius, helping the small township clinch the title of the hottest spot in China on Thursday. Beijing has raised an orange alert, the second most severe weather warning, saying temperatures could be as high as 39 degrees Celsius from Thursday to Saturday. Australia through to AFC Under-17.
Jari 7 kat orang, 4 jari 7.
Nightline with sports. Football, the AFC Under-17 Asian Cup. Australia beat Tajikistan 2-0 to advance to the knockout stage from Group C at Rajamangala National Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand on Thursday. Perth Glory youngster Daniel Benny was the all-important first goal scorer for the Joeys, tucking home a close-range finish in the second half. Nathan Amanatidis then provided a late moment of pure class that sealed the group affair after rolling Australia's second goal into the back of the net during extra time. With Saudi Arabia beating China 3-0, Australia finished second in Group C and will meet the Group D winners in the knockout stage. On to tennis, the 2023 ATP Cinch Championships. Sebastian Korda ended Francis Tiafoe's winning run on grass as he completed a straight-set win to reach the quarterfinals at Queen's Club. Tiafoe arrived in London having won the Stuttgart Open on Sunday, but it was his American compatriot who came through a first-set tiebreak 7-6-2. And despite losing his serve in the opening game of the second, Korda broke back twice to take the set 6-2 and complete victory in an hour and 20 minutes. Korda will next face Cameron Norrie of Great Britain in the last 8. Earlier, Norrie came from a set down to reach the quarterfinals at Queen's with a 3-set victory over Australian Jordan Thompson. The 5th seed dropped the first set but rallied to win 4-6, 6-3, 6-2. The British number 1 was due to play doubles with Andy Murray later on Wednesday evening, but the 2-time Wimbledon champion, who lost in the singles on Tuesday, withdrew through fatigue. Also in the next round was Holger Rune. The 2nd seed moved into the quarterfinals at the Queen's Club with a 2-set victory over wildcard Ryan Peniston on Wednesday. Rune took 1 hour and 26 minutes to wrap up his 6-3, 6-4 win and will meet Italian Lorenzo Musetti in the last 8 on Thursday. Policewoman hurling insults in viral videos suspended. This and more after this short break. Welcome back to Nightline. Now, the office of Sarawak Governor Tun Abdul Taib Mahmud has assured the public that the veteran politician is well and in good stead. In a statement, Astana Negeri Sarawak said rumours circulating about Tun Abdul Taib were completely fake and untrue. The statement comes in the wake of rumours of Tun Abdul Taib's supposed death, which has been circulating on social media. Tun Abdul Taib was Sarawak's chief minister for 33 years from 1981 to 2014, holding the record as the longest-serving head of government of a Malaysian state. Four Thai nationals suspected to be involved in a human trafficking syndicate linked to transit camps and mass graves found in Wang Kelian Perlis will be charged on Friday. The four will be brought to the Kanga Magistrates Court after a 6-year-long extradition process to transfer the suspects from Thailand to Malaysia. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the government had submitted an extradition request to the Thai government for 10 of their nationals on January 6, 2017. As a result of good cooperation between both countries, 4 out of 10 individuals have been successfully identified and brought before the Thai court for extradition purposes. On March 30th, the Thai Court of Appeal issued a detention order for the 4 to be extradited to Malaysia. The ministry expressed its highest appreciation to the Thai government and all the parties involved in ensuring ensuring the seamless extradition process of the four. Datuk Sri Saifuddin expressed hope that the cooperation could continue in order to track down other individuals involved and bring them to face justice. In May 2015, police discovered 139 graves in 28 temporary camps run by a human trafficking syndicate in the jungle near the Thai-Malaysian border in Wang Kelian. Similar graves were also found near the border in Thailand. This was followed by a Royal Commission of Inquiry (RCI) in 2019, at which 48 witnesses testified. The RCI, among other things, found that no Malaysians were involved in the matter. However, it said Border Patrol's negligence had a part to play in the transit camps and mass graves.
On another matter, the Home Ministry has confirmed that a total of 8 investigation papers have been opened in connection with the female police officer who went viral recently after she was caught on video hurling insults at others. Datuk Sri Saifuddin also confirmed that the civil servant had been suspended from work since last week.
Datuk Sri Saifuddin said 2 investigation papers were opened under the Penal Code, while 6 other investigation papers were opened under the Federal Police Integrity and Standard Compliance Department or JIPS.
2 dan juga 6 kertas siasatan. Jadi dengan kenyataan ini, masyarakat khasnya akan mendapat tahu bahawa pihak polis mempunyai kaedah dan mekanisme yang jelas untuk menghadapi perilaku yang sebegini yang boleh menyebabkan ketidaktenteraman di kalangan masyarakat dan boleh juga memberikan sikit sebanyak persepsi terhadap pasukan polis.
He further explained that the 2 investigation papers under the Penal Code were opened under Section 506 for criminal intimidation and Section 186 for obstructing a public servant in discharge of his public functions. Both investigation papers have been referred to the Classified Criminal Investigation Unit D5. Datuk Sri Saifuddin also revealed that the police had recorded a statement from the female police officer on June 18th and she was currently suspended from duties pending investigations. The female police officer had recently gone viral on social media after she was filmed hurling insulting comments towards a low-ranking police officer in Gombak. Another video soon surfaced where she was seen insulting and provoking a member of the public at a shopping mall parking lot.
In Malacca, a former military personnel was fined 20,000 ringgit by the Aikuro Sessions Court on Thursday after pleading guilty to shooting a neighbour's cat with an air rifle last year. The accused, 63-year-old Aziz Tambi, was earlier charged with animal cruelty for causing undue suffering to the cat.
He is alleged to have committed the offence at a house in Lorong Mat Lajis, Bukit Rambai in Melaka Tengah on June 18, 2022. He was charged under the Animal Welfare Act or Act 772, which carries a minimum fine of 20,000 ringgit and a maximum of 100,000 ringgit or 3 years imprisonment or both. Lawyer Ishak Muhammad Kari, who represented the accused, appealed for a light sentence on the grounds that the accused had served the country and received a Medal of Appreciation, and that the action was taken because he had been patient with his neighbours for a long time. The court then imposed a fine of 20,000 ringgit or 6 months in prison if he fails to pay the fine.
Boat races and other folk cultural activities have been held in parts of China recently to mark the traditional Dragon Boat Festival, which falls upon the 5th day of the 5th month in the Chinese lunar calendar. Let's take a look as we conclude Nightline this time around. I'm Azaria Tagaya. Thanks for joining us and have a good night.